This video, we will be solving different problems involving depreciation by using the straight line method or SLM. Straight line method is the most simple way of solving depreciation because it assumes that there is a constant depreciation value all throughout the lifetime of a given property or asset. So for problem 1, company A purchases a machine for 100,000 pesos with an estimated salvage value of 20,000 pesos and a useful life of 5 years. Find the annual depreciation amount. So again, company A purchases a machine for 100,000 pesos with an estimated salvage value of 20,000 pesos and a useful life of 5 years. We were asked to find the annual depreciation amount of the said machine. So let's first write the given. We have the initial cost of the machine, which is C sub O is equal to 100,000 pesos. And then, it has an estimated salvage value of 20,000 pesos, so that will be our C sub L. The given useful life of 5 years, or L, is equal to 5. The unknown for this problem is the annual depreciation amount. So the annual depreciation amount will be denoted as small letter D, or the depreciation value per year. Let's just encircle the given on the problem and then underline the unknown to emphasize. So for the solution, we will be using the simplest formula. So we have D is equal to C sub 0 minus C sub L all over L. Substituting with the given values, we'll have 100,000 pesos minus 20,000 pesos all over 5. So, using your calculators, you can now solve for the final answer, which should be 16,000 pesos. Or meaning to say, the machine will have an annual depreciation amount of 16,000 pesos. Yung machine natin will decrease its value by 16,000 pesos every single year. So next problem number 2. The first cost of a machine is 1.8 million pesos with a salvage value of 300,000 pesos at the end of its 6 years of life. Determine the total depreciation after 3 years. And so for this problem, the given are the first cost of the machine, or C sub O, is equal to 1.8 million pesos. And then, it is also given with a salvage value of 300,000 pesos. So, our C sub L is 300K. At the end of its 6 years of life, the useful life, or L, is equal to 6. The unknown for this problem is the total depreciation after 3 years. So the total depreciation will be denoted as capital letter D at the end of 3 years, so we need to find D sub 3. In order to solve for the total depreciation, we first need to solve for the annual depreciation. So same formula pa rin, we have D is equal to 1.8 million pesos, or the initial cost minus 300k, or the salvage value, all over 6 years of life. So computing our depreciation every year will be equal to 250,000 pesos. Now we can solve for our total depreciation. Since this is constant, we can just multiply the depreciation with the number of years, or d times n. So we have 250,000 pesos per year multiplied by 3 years. And so simply we'll have the final answer na 750,000 pesos. The machine will have a total depreciation of 750,000 pesos after 3 years. And so, constant depreciation siya every year, amounting to 250k. After 3 years, that will be 750k. Next problem. So, for problem 3, the Eastern Company provides the following information regarding one of its fixed assets that has been purchased on January 1st, 2015. The cost of the asset is 35,000 pesos. The salvage value is 3,000 pesos. The useful life is 10 years. So calculate the annual depreciation expense of this asset. Cost of the asset, or C sub O, salvage value, or C sub L, useful life, or L. The annual depreciation is the small letter D. So that will be our unknown for this problem. So the solution, we will just use the formula D is equal to C sub O minus C sub L all over L. Substitute with the given, it's 35,000 minus 3,000 all over 10. And so by using your calculator, you can solve for the final answer, which is 3,200 pesos. So annually, yung fixed asset purchased by the Eastern Company will be depreciated by 3,200 pesos. So the cost of the asset will decrease by 3,200 pesos per year. Okay, so for the next problem, we have a commercial building. So a commercial building has a salvage value of 1 million pesos after 50 years. The annual depreciation is 2 million pesos. How many years after should you sell the building for 30 million? So this problem is quite tricky. The given will rearrange. So this time, the salvage value is still given. So we have C sub L is equal to 1 million pesos. Same as the useful life given pa rin. We have L is equal to 50 years. But this time, the annual depreciation is already given. So we have the small letter D is equal to 2 million pesos. And then you want to sell the building for 30 million pesos. Or the book value will be 30 million pesos. But for now, you just don't know when you will sell the building, or after how many years should you sell that building for the amount that you are considering. So, the unknown here is yung letter N natin, or the number of years. So, we'll still be using the same formulas. First, we can still use the formula for the annual depreciation. So, that is small letter D is equal to C sub 0 minus C sub L all over L. will be left with one unknown. So D is equal to 2 million. It should be equal to the first cost. So for now, that is still unknown, minus our salvage value na given 1 million pesos all over the given useful life na 50 years. So upon solving this, we can now have the value of the initial cost of the building. So we have 50 multiplied by 2M plus 1 million. So that is equivalent to 101 million pesos. So para saan ito? The first cost or the purchasing value of the commercial building is 101 million pesos. And then we need to find how much is the total depreciation. Diba? Kasi we will find how many years can we sell this building for my considered amount. So let's use the formula. C sub n is equal to C sub 0 minus D sub n. Yan. So our C sub n is 30 million minus our computed initial cost na 101 million pesos minus our unknown for this part, the total depreciation. So that will be 30 million subtracted from 101 million. So we'll be left with 71 million pesos. What does it mean? So it just simply means that the commercial building was purchased with a value of 101 million pesos. Since you want to sell it with 30 million pesos, therefore it has depreciated by 71 million pesos. Since you know the total depreciation, you can now proceed with the last formula, si D times N, or si 71 million pesos is equal to 2 million pesos multiplied by N. Nagde-depreciate siya ng 2 million per year. To reach the total depreciation of 71 million, so just divide it, 71 divided by 2, we have the final answer na 35.5 years. Yan. So once again, the commercial building has an initial cost of 101 million pesos. In order to sell it for your considered amount na 30 million pesos, you need to wait for 35.5 years. So, problem number 5. And the initial cost of piece of construction equipment is 3 million pesos, having a useful life of 10 years. The estimated salvage value of the equipment at the end of the useful life is 450,000 pesos. Find the book value of the equipment at the end of 50 year. So let's write the given. We have the initial cost. C sub 0 is equal to 3 million. The useful life, L, is equal to 10. And then the estimated salvage value of the equipment, or C sub L, is equal to 450,000 pesos. The question is to find the book value of the equipment at the end of 50 year. So our unknown is C sub 5. So before we can directly solve the book value, we can solve first for the annual depreciation, or the small letter D, which is equal to C sub 0 minus C sub L all over L. Substituting with the given, we have 3 million minus 450,000 all over 10. And therefore, the the depreciation per year of the construction equipment is 255,000 pesos. So, yearly value niya will be depreciated by 255,000 pesos. The total depreciation is just simply D times N. So, that is 255,000 times 5 years. So, that will be equal to 1,275,000 pesos. So, that is the total depreciation at the end of 5 years. So, the remaining value or the book value is just simply C sub 5 is equal to C sub 0 minus D sub 5. So, yung initial cost natin na 3 million pesos subtracted with the total depreciation na 1,275,000 will be left with a book value of 1,725,000 pesos. So that will be the final answer. We have the book value of the equipment at the end of 5th year na 1,725,000 pesos. So just remember, the book value is the remaining value after all the deductions have been made from the initial cost of a property or an asset.